Check, just have each of you guys say your names real quick.
John Greene.
Blair Thomas.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So, college football is different when you guys play. You got the 12-team playoff now. Penn State with a win today.
Well,
What do you think they are? You think they're the 1 seed? You think they're 2 seed if Texas wins?
they should be the 1 seed, but I think are those positions locked at the first 4? I thought maybe I heard some misinformation, but I thought the first top teams are locked to be in no matter what, even if they lose their championship game. But I'm just excited just to be in this position for them because they've been trying to get here for so long. The way the end of the season ended kind of catapulted them to the championship game, and that's what you want. You want to get to that championship game, and then let's play. Let's see where everything shakes down from that point, and then we'll find out if we going to be the national championship or if we just going to be conference champions, Big Ten champs.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're in a nice position right now. Excited about it. Now they just got to go out and play, and I think the outcome's going to be a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
Your guys' team in '86 versus the team in 2024.
Oh, it's two different offenses. They've been lined up in a I formation in the last 10 years. It was a different era back then, but we had some very talented players on that team on both sides of the ball. The defense was the strength of that team when we won the national championship. But when we needed to perform, we performed. You know, everybody made sure they knew their assignments and everybody was locked in.
Yeah, I was joking with him earlier. I said when we played, we won with defense. You know, the defense would shut you down, and the offense's job was to eat up the clock and eat up the time. And the defense would eliminate your scores. And if we can put 14, 18, 20 points on the board, we were guaranteed a win.
It's still Big Ten football for Penn State, at least kind of built through and through on the trenches. Oregon, not built that way. They're built on speed. They want to beat you down the field. Totally different game.
That's why I say that they play similar to the USC. Mm-hmm. So we played that type of team before, and we showed that we had the depth when the quarterback got hurt. Drew Allen got hurt, and Bo came in and showed that there was not a drop off. So that was, showing that we have a solid team. It's just not, 1 or 2 players in certain positions. And then I only want to get to the defense, with Carter, and it's a list of them on defense that has just been playing outstanding all year round.
I think in general they can play. They've showed they can play with the speed teams, and if it comes down to it, and you got to play smash mouth football, they've been able to do that this season. So hopefully they can just they can adapt and do it today.
So we'll go back to some of you guys' stuff. What does it mean to you guys to play for Penn State, to be Nittany Lions?
It meant playing for pride. It meant playing for honor, for our school. It meant playing for our friends that were on the team with us, in the trenches with us, and the coaches. And it just meant the world to us, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
The thing when we played, we didn't have the transfer portal and all those things, so everybody was locked in. We had so many guys come back for their 5th year because they knew we was that close to winning the national championship the year before. We wound up we was undefeated, but we lost to Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. So these 5th year, these guys that had the ability to come back for their 5th year, they came back because that was the bond, that loyalty. Shane Collins, Tim Johnson, all those guys that had that 5th year available. They could have went into the pros the year before, but they knew how close we were and we had a good team, so they wanted to get back.
And they were the freshman recruiting class of '82. 3 of those guys played in '83. The rest were wholesale redshirted, and so this was a big deal. They stuck around just for that. They wanted to come back and they wanted to compete to win it, and they instilled those values in us. And so hopefully, we did. We got a chance to contribute. So.
Yeah.
What can you guys say about the Penn State brotherhood?
Oh, that's a strong brotherhood because we have our Letterman Lounge up there, photos when we played all on the walls, but it kind of is the same as our alumni association. And what I mean by that is we have the largest paying alumni association in the country or the world, and that's what we have with our brotherhood. We know that, so we're all on a long chain of all the players, who's going to this game, who's going to that game, and I don't know if other schools do it because we haven't been there, but I just know it's a strong bond at Penn State.
Well, and for us, we played with 30 years of coaching staff that really didn't change, and then there was another 15 after us that still didn't change. So we all share a common bond, and the stories and it's fascinating, and it's a lot of fun to get to meet guys from 25, 30 years earlier, and they tell you the same. Yeah, it was like this. Yep, yeah, we know. So that creates a bond as well.
Well, another unique thing that used to happen is Joe Paterno would come in with his notepad and everything, and then he would read a letter that you think he's talking about us because it's definitely all the things that's been happening in the season to that point. Mm-hmm. And then he'd turn around and say, this letter was written to the 1973 team. It's like, whoa, that's us.
Yeah.
That team is us.
Yeah,
and,
a lot of similarities.
Yeah, so those things like that really kind of let us know that, okay, we can overcome adversity, so it's just a matter of everybody just buying into the program and believing in each other. Yeah. Don't try to do someone else's job, do your job. Football's 11 one-on-one battles, win your battles.
Yeah, how important do you guys think that tradition is? I was listening to somebody talk about the Chicago Bears the other day. They were saying how this Bears team isn't built like those old Bears teams where they were built on that defense. What can you say about Penn State? Because it's a history, it's tradition, and it's a program with a lot of storied success.
Yes,
it's a history and a tradition, but you have to live in the moment, and while that worked for us, the world's changed, time has changed. It's a new environment, and Penn State's, just like everybody else, has to adapt and has to overcome. And they seem to be doing that. So I'm happy about that.
That's what I feel good about this team, because even though we lost to Michigan and Ohio State's multiple years, to me it feels like Coach Franklin still has the players' ears. And when you go through adversity and as a coach you start losing those players' ear, things start going awry. So yes, we haven't won that big game or that against Ohio State or Michigan, but he still has the players' ears, and I think that's going to be a thing that keep these guys together, because those guys wasn't there when we lost to them previously. It's a lot of new players that's contributing, that's doing well, and I think that's going to continue to grow, over the years.
You guys talk about Coach Franklin as a leader. I think, I didn't play college football or anything like that, but as somebody who witnesses a lot of football, coaching in the NFL, coaching in college are two really different things. In the NFL, you're working with 50 professional men. In college, you're working with 90 kids, and you're shaping them into young men.
Correct.
James Franklin's been a guy who's been able to keep guys here, especially with the transfer portal being as big as it is. Can you speak a little bit about him as a leader and why guys want to play for him?
Well, a lot of people look at him in different roles. The landscape of college football has changed, where everybody's almost going to a business model with the CEO, and you got your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They're in control of that, So Coach Franklin is kind of, in my opinion, is managing the situation. Whereas back in the day, Joe used to get in a three-point stance and act like he was the pulling guard or tackle. So he was really hands-on when we were in school. Okay, I can't speak 5-10 years after that as he was continuing to get older, but he always made sure that he was a technician fundamentalist. He wanted to make sure the details, those little things. Hey, Thomas, stop looking for the big play. It's 3 yards, then 2 yards, then boom, the big one just happens. Stop looking for the big play.
Yeah, you said that, and I'm thinking about him getting down in 3-point stands against the lineman and demonstrating to him how you do it, and punching him in the chest with 2 hands, and Joe's showing him how to block, and we're all thinking, if that guy swings back at him, it's all over. It's all over. But nobody ever did. Nobody ever did. So it was good.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the big one. You guys are in the locker room right now, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying to the team for this one?
I'm not saying much
Yeah.
right now. I'm probably right now going through visualization of the plays, so you can when a game happens, it's like nonstop. It's just the natural thing. It's not forced because you done relax. You done went through the first 10 plays of the script or whatever, and you visualize this. You know, you're gonna get a loss every so often, but you gotta bounce back up. So that's what I'm spending my time trying to get my mind ready for the game, to stay focused.
Yeah, as a player, before the game, I would probably be trying to manage my emotion because I wanted to peak that first play from scrimmage. I don't want it to peak while I'm in the locker room or while I'm warming up. I want it to peak when it's time to go. And so you try to manage it. So you try to keep calm early. You know, you listen to music. You know, you distract yourself, and then you start to just kind of ramp it up, and then it's go time.
How do you do that? How do you keep your emotion in check? Because this isn't a normal game. This isn't, regular season game in October. This is the Big Ten championship. You win, you get a bye in the college football playoff. There are certainly added stakes. How do you keep that head level and not think of it like that?
It is no different than any other game. You do them one at a time, because if you don't do this one and focus on this one, there is no next one. All right, so you take them one at a time.
One at a time.
That's what they got to do.
All right, can I get a score prediction for tonight?
Ooh, you know what? I usually do this from the heart, and that's good that you asked because I didn't even think through what my prediction would be on that. I think it's going to be. I'm gonna go. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for some reason. I'm just feeling a high-scoring game, so I'm gonna go somewhere around 42. 35 less. I don't know how strongly.
I'm going to say 36-28, Penn State.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.